Just what did you tell your team after the game, and how was the atmosphere in the locker room afterwards?
Well, obviously, you don't play your best football. The attitude, the tone of the locker room is down. I think the biggest message that we had to get across was that we need to be much more of a physical football team, more energy. Some of the things that we were lacking for whatever reason. And then when you go back and watch the film, which is the telltale, I thought offensively our execution didn't make a lot of mistakes, but our execution could have been better. Defensively, we're definitely not physical enough. I didn't think we took our shots the way we had taken them the previous weeks. I mean, we had opportunities to go run downhill and be more aggressive on the field, and we weren't. And that's the part we have to get across consistently. You can't worry about taking a shot and missing, and that's where we got to get better.
Is that a play calling thing, or is that just your players not taking that shot?
We talked about 2 weeks ago prior to the Nebraska game being more aggressive in every phase of our football team. Play calling, offense, defense, special teams. There was a lot of plays where I thought we could have been on the field more aggressive in terms of, you get a chance to make a play, go make the play. Don't wait for them to come and block you. And some of those times it gashed us pretty good.
When you say execution, to me, it means that the players didn't do what they were supposed to do. Where does the responsibility lie on the coaching staff with that?
It's everybody. It's not just the players, it's everybody. But I'm talking about, when I talk about execution, I mean finishing things. I mean, they're on the right guy, but being able to string a little bit harder. So because instead of it becoming a 3-yard play, it becomes a 6-yard play, those types of things. But we're all responsible, every single one of us that's in the program.
Did you question the effort?
The effort?
Yes.
No. I didn't question the effort in terms of that execution. I just thought we could have played harder, just as a group. Just play a little bit harder in every phase of our game. Just strain a little bit more and show the passion that you have for the game a little bit better.
Saying all that, you're coming off a win. You haven't won at home in the Big Ten game. I mean, I could line up all the things that would lead you to believe that everything you're talking about would not be a question about your team, about playing harder, playing with passion, playing with energy. Then why didn't they do that 1 week after that victory?
Yeah, well, that's the thing I addressed our guys with last night was, why? Why wouldn't you come out there and leave everything that you have on the field every play? And I think it's not a matter of, okay, we don't want to. It's just sometimes they hesitate because they're not sure of, should I pull the trigger? And if I miss, what happens? It's more of that as opposed to I'm not playing hard. I'm a little bit hesitant when I see something instead of just going.
But you have confidence now. Why would that be an issue?
Well, sometimes you have confidence, sometimes you lose a little confidence, and you got to somehow get it back, which we will. But I think you got to be able to take your shots, and that's the thing that we need to do better as a group.
How do you develop those guys to take those shots? Like, is it just building their confidence and knowing what they're seeing is the right thing that they're seeing? Or?
I think that's part of it, but I also think it's reinforcement from us to say that if you take a shot and you miss, it's okay. It's okay that you miss, but it's better than sitting back and waiting to not take that shot.
All that emphasis you've put on aggression in the last couple of weeks, just playing more aggressively, just where did those differences show up on Saturdays compared to like Nebraska?
Well, they did a good job, I thought, early taking us out of some of those easy passes that we had. We got ourselves in a lot of third and long situations. And first and second down, we weren't able to get into any type of rhythm. It was +1, +2, maybe 3 sometimes. And then all of a sudden it's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. And then you're trying to get a first down. Our first 5 series, we were out for 3 and outs. And again, you want to be able to take your shot, but you also want to be able to stay on the field. So it's a fine balance of, can't be ultra aggressive on third down, but you like to be on first and second down.
I've already asked you twice this season if you're considering making a change at play caller, and you said no both times, but at what point does something happen that you feel like you need to make a drastic change?
Well, I mean, you look at the film, and it's not one specific person. It's not a quarterback. It's not a receiver. It's not a play call. If it were one specific thing, then I think you say, okay, yes, but that's not the case in this. I mean, we had things that were open again, and we didn't throw the ball. So is that the play call, or is that the guy throwing the ball? So, you know, from a fan's perspective, or from somebody from outside that doesn't see all the things that happen on the film, you got to really evaluate what's really happening and make the right decision from that perspective.
Do you feel like your game plan was as aggressive as it was against Nebraska going into Illinois?
Yeah, I do. I mean, but, you know, like I said, Illinois did a good job on first and second down, taking some of those things. We rolled out just as much as we did. We ran naked, so we tried to get the ball on the perimeter.
It didn't appear that way.
You didn't roll out as much as you did against Nebraska.
How much did we, what was the difference?
Against Nebraska, specifically just the passing rollouts were 17 times, and total rollouts on Saturday were 9.
Yeah, so it's half, almost half.
So they were doing something that kept
Well,
you
but
from doing that?
How many more plays did we have in the first half, too, in one game than the other?
So you had 5 fewer plays against Illinois than Nebraska.
In the total game?
So
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were preventing us from hitting those short underneath throws.
were they aligning their defensive ends differently, or what?
No, they weren't rushing their D ends. When, you know, first play from scrimmage, we threw a screen,
Right.
and the 3 technique got us. He dropped out, read the back. I think we came back. I can't remember if it was the first or second series with a rollout, and I believe the safety got us. Came down and tackled the back on the riverside or lakeside, was just the rollout play that we had. So.
I think it's generally thought, not just you or not just college football, but generally the team takes on the personality of the head coach. Has that been the case with this team, and are they fiery enough? Are you fiery enough?
I'm not sure what that means. Am I firing? We're giving them the information that we think that they need to be successful. Can I do better? Absolutely. I don't question that. But at some point in time, it's got to be internal. This is something we talked about before. I mean, I can scream as much as I want. Let's get going. Let's get a spark. Who's going to create this spark? But at some point in time, we got to get juice from our guys that are on the field.
Do you scream at them? I'm just curious.
At times I do.
It feels like the Tony Dungy scenario to me. You know, very similar person. I didn't personally know Tony Dungy, but you know that he's very laid back, steady as you go kind of guy. And obviously, when they were winning, that was what people were saying.
When they weren't
When
winning?
they weren't winning, that was kind of the thing. It's like, well, is this enough? Obviously, they went and won the championship. So I suppose it depends. Do you feel like you need to win?
Do I feel like we need to win?
Yeah, I know that's not what I meant. Do you feel like you need to win to be able to have people say, like, you can win with a coach who's not a fiery, in-your-face
Oh,
guy?
you can win without a fiery guy that's screaming nonstop around the clock.
Right.
That's not execution of football. That's a guy screaming on the sideline
Right.
for screaming.
Right.
I mean, what does this team need?
There's a couple things we need. Obviously, we need to play more aggressive. We need to have some internal energy. We need to coach a little bit better. All those things is something we need to do better.
I guess just from your personality, though, what do they
From
need?
my personality.
From your personality, what do they need? Do they need a screamer, or do they need the guy that you've been
At
the
some
last
point,
2.5 years?
At some point in time, guys respond to screaming. They turn it off. So you got to pick and choose the right time that you raise your voice. And if you expect me to swear them up and down, it's never going to happen. But we will charge them up, which we do when we think it's needed. And sometimes, they're going to respond the right way, and sometimes, guys act differently. So.
Talk about the things that you need to do right there, just with so few games left in the season and just the way it's turned out thus far. Just what do you need to see in these last few games to kind of Or what are you looking for? What needs to show up?
I think we have to do a good job as a program. I mean, there's obviously nothing to lose. Go as hard as you can in everything you do on the field, in terms of getting after people. And that's what I want the message to be to our football team. Who cares? Just go. Just go. Just go as hard as you possibly can. And don't worry about, we weren't in our gaps on some of those long runs. We were supposed to turn the ball back inside. That's not a schematic thing. It's a technical thing that the guys got to get a little bit wider for. I mean, the one that came out, if he forces it back, it's probably a no gain. Because he didn't, he came out for a touchdown. I mean, just little things like that. But that's part of young guys learning the game. But I want us to go hard as we possibly can in everything we do.
How many tackles did you miss?
15.
Hmm.
And 6 of them were big ones. 6 of them were huge.
We see you guys work on that every
Every
week. I
every
mean,
week.
what?
Well, see, that's part of it. That's part of it. So here's the point I'm trying to get across was there were times where we could have closed the space on the tackle on the running back, and we didn't. And that's waiting, and that's what I'm talking about. The safety has a chance to close the cushion and be able to make that tackle in a tight, confined area as opposed to being out in the open field. It's harder to tackle good backs.
I felt like Andy Garcia did that maybe one time on a touchdown run. Didn't
Andy
go.
did it,
He
Leroy.
hesitated a little bit.
Andy did it, Leroy did it, a couple of those other safeties did it.
Does that come down to just an athletic issue?
Um,
More athletic, you need to get more athletic in certain spots?
No, I think, that always helps, obviously. But when you're playing against good backs, you got to reduce the tackling area. And they had chances to do that. We had chances to do that a couple times where guys could have taken 3 more steps. The back wouldn't have had nearly as much space that he would have needed, and pretty good, got him on the ground.
When you look at the defensive game plan, you thought they were going to come out 4 receivers, spread you out. You came out and played nickel quite a bit in the first half, and then switched it up and played a lot of 5 defensive linemen. Did Illinois just do a really good job of maybe keeping you guys off balance of what they were going to do and made it harder? I mean, if you're a nickel, you got 3 guys down, they run the power. What are you going to do? I mean, they just have guys that can come up and wipe out your linebacker.
Well, I thought when we went to our big package, and they were in 22 personnel, and it's a 9-man front.
Right.
We got to be able to tackle the ball on a 9-man front.
Mm-hmm.
They were running power. We knew what they were running, and we misfit the gaps a couple times.
There was a report last week that Purdue plans to bring you back next year as a coach. I mean, have you been told that you will be back?
We have not had those conversations, so I'm not sure which media started that, but Morgan and I will talk after the season.
How confident do you feel that you will be back in 2016?
I don't know if I have any comments to that right now.
I feel like you've done enough.
I think we're heading in the right direction for sure. Absolutely, 100% certain we are that we're heading in the right directions. Obviously not on the wins and losses, but are we getting close? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And we're like this right now, and that's the thing I talked to our team about last night. Is you can't play here one week and play here another week, right? So
After a game like that, are you just, I think I used the term mind boggled after that game, but I mean, because of that, because you saw like, oh my gosh, here we go, we're taking 1 step forward and then 2 steps back. I mean, are you just kind of shaking your head after that?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
How do you maintain those highs and lows, like to keep, because I'm sure it's not just a play up and down, but I'm sure it's an emotional kind of roller coaster for the team.
I don't want to maintain the lows.
Yeah, obvious.
Yeah.
But kind of maintain, I guess, more of an even keel, through those high for the whole team, through those highs and
I
lows.
think we got to get out. We got to get out of the lows.
Mhm.
That was the message. Is that we can't have those lows. You have so many opportunities to come out and play this game, and you got to play with passion every single time you have an opportunity to play it. And,
Say you're in November, you can't really start over. We have 3 games left.
No.
I mean, is this a roller coaster that just has to ride out until the end of the year so you can fix it in another way?
I think you have to prepare for this one right now. That's all you can worry about. And make sure you do everything you can to get this win this weekend, period. And then you do the same thing for the last 2 weeks. And then, if you win out, you feel really good about, like you said, the progress that you're making. And if you're not making the progress that you need to be making, then you got to figure out where you need to continue to fix things.
Is it mentally challenging for the team to take that approach